Good night, welcome to Teleislas News with the most important information of the day. In the afternoon hours, a traffic accident was registered in the lower part of Slave Hill.
A serious traffic accident left considerable injuries to a citizen during this afternoon at the descent of the Slave Hill sector. A van and a motorcycle were involved in this accident, and drivers and bystanders reacted immediately by calling the ambulance after the accident, which was present and transported the injured man to the hospital. According to the version of those who witnessed the incident, the motorcyclist received injuries to his head and lower limbs. As of the beginning of this broadcast, this news agency is still awaiting medical reports, which have not yet been released. Teleislas News will be aware of the condition in which the injured person was admitted and his current condition.
In the morning hours, the new commander of the Caribbean Air Group, Gakar, was sworn in.
The leadership of the Caribbean Air Group, GACAR, was assumed by Lieutenant Colonel Andrés Vargas Rodriguez, who by the disposition of the High Command of the Colombian Air Force received the command of the Strategic Air Military Unit located in the archipelago of San Andres. The new commander emphasized that he assumed satisfactorily the important challenge of leading the airbase Lieutenant Colonel Benjamin Mendez Rey.
I simply come today with the support of the Commander of the Air Force and the High Command to implement government policies in the proper way, as I said in my speech, in an efficient, integrated and legitimate manner.
The new commander emphasized that work will continue at the base in the areas of humanitarian air operations, support in times of emergency, and coordinated efforts between different military forces of our country.
16 centenarians will be honored by the departmental government through the Senior Citizens Program tomorrow in the Departmental Assembly Hall in the afternoon hours.
Relatives of centenarians in the Archipelago Department will receive a recognition for their contribution to the community. A total of 16 centenarians will be honored, 10 of them who have passed away and 6 who are still alive.
The departmental government is going to make a special recognition to all our centenarians the day of tomorrow. This is an event that has been postponed these 2 past years due to the confinement of the pandemic by COVID. So at last tomorrow we are going to make this special event for them. Actually we have 16 centenarians reporting in our office, and 6 of them are alive and 10 have passed away unfortunately. And the recognition of those that passed away is going to be received by someone of their families, and we hope to do in this event a special recognition to all of them for their approach to the community.
The event will take place tomorrow at 3 o'clock in the afternoon at the Assembly Hall.
During this year, the Chamber of Commerce focused on improving and strengthening the different gastronomics and musical businesses in the department, and they expect to continue with this work during the next year. It should be noted that they achieve a growth of new businesses.
The Chamber of Commerce to end the year is committed to continuing to contribute to businesses to improve their services and have new offerings within the establishment, who will perform in some restaurant musical presentation, and they also support local artists.
In this year, Camara they organize one activity named Enjoy Local Music. The intention is to put some groups in different restaurants and hotels for the tourists they can enjoy and learn more about our music and our culture. This one strategy for develop or open the wide option of cultural tourism and fertilize, for example, in the gastronomy.
The Director of Competitiveness of the Chamber of Commerce refers to the growth that was achieved commercially mainly on the island of Providence.
In general, this year we believe is positive, especially in Providence. We develop different programs to make reactivation, and well, I believe we receive from them for example, good expectation. Now in the main board from the camera, we have 2 members from Providence. So I believe that is the answer of the different program in the reactivation Providence. They receive economical support to develop and fertilize their business. So the idea now is to help the reactivation in the tourism activity in Providence. But the main balance, we believe, is very, very positive.
And tomorrow, December 13th, the national presentation of the series El Sabor de la Pasión, a co-production between Teleislas Regional Channel and Panama's CERTV channel, will take place.
The miniseries of Teleislas Regional Channel El Sabor de la Pasión, translated to English as Passion's Flavor, is a 12-episode co-production made in conjunction with the State Radio and Television System of Panama, CERTV, which mainly highlights the gastronomic culture of the islands. The series, which premiered on July 25th, will be shown in the city of Bogotá tomorrow, December 13th.
El evento se da como escenario para...
The event was set as a stage to publicize the international co-production beyond local borders with a view to attracting the audiovisual sector with the purpose of conquering other screens that may be interested in this important production of our regional channel.
It is worth noting that El Sabor de la Pasión is the first international series made by Teleislas Channel, being the epicenter to publicize its ancestral culture of the islands beyond Colombian borders, and also an opportunity to demonstrate the talent and audiovisual strength of the Insular Department.
In other news, gender approach in health services is an excellent initiative that the Secretariat of Health has been carrying out since the previous year, with a diagnosis of the social state enterprise and the IPS on the islands. The socialization of the results of the study will be made tomorrow.
Taking into account the importance of the gender approach in health services due to the particularities in the medical attention that the different social sectors must receive, the Health Secretariat, with the support of the National University, has carried out a study in some health centers in the island to know the degree of incorporation of the gender approach in the health services.
We've been continuing this process both in the departmental hospital as well as in the IPS Insular Medical Center and Omalina Optica, from there recognizing the different barriers in the provision of health services, especially in the population of women, men, and the LGBTI social sectors. The Departmental Secretariat of Health, together with the National University of Bogotá headquarters, has been conducting this study in the last quarter of the year to know what is the current degree of incorporation of the gender approach in the health sector in the archipelago.
The process has allowed to know the vision of the different models of the Health Secretariat, as well as the mission and the vision of the portfolio of the different programs regarding the gender approach. 500 interviews were conducted with users of the health centers, including people from the LGBTI social sectors.
Those who wish to know in depth the results of this study may attend tomorrow to the auditorium of Infotech between 8 a.m. and 12 noon. Here directly, the professors of the National University in charge of the process will be presenting the results of this study. However, I can tell you that it has been well received by the community. There has been collaboration from users and doctors of these institutions.
With a lot of discipline and dedication, we have been able to gather information on how the health services have incorporated the gender approach in the department. The results of this study will be revealed tomorrow, and the community in general is invited.
Now it's time for news of the municipality of Full Providence and Santa Catalina with Millicent O'Neill.
Good evening to all our viewers. This is the most relevant information from Old Providence and Catalina. This weekend, the Rocky Point Community Center was handed over, and also an agreement was signed with SENA, which will use it as a training center for gastronomy and tailoring.
During a small meeting that brought together representatives from Sena, Pro Archipelago, Colombia Inteligente, and members of the community, the official handover of the community center in Rocky Point for the administration of the Catholic Church was carried out. Father Benito, who will oversee the venue, gave thanks to God and described the building as a blessing after iota.
People that give donation help us to build this building here. It is a building that was built to be a refugio for the people. If anything had to come and happen again, they got this part to go and hide themselves. But is a building also open for the service of the community.
During the meeting, an agreement of understanding was also signed for the center to be activated as a SENA training environment.
What we are contemplating with Father Benito and Erlid Arroyo, who is the president of the Pro Archipelago organization, is that initially a lease contract for 1 year, although it could be extended given that the new sub-site in Old Town still does not have a termination date. But for now, we have established that for 1 year, we will provide training in both kitchen and clothing.
Finally, the opening of a third environment for training in systems at the center is also being contemplated.
And the idea is also to do other activities, like maybe with the clinical renewal. Also, we're thinking to make some jornadas for eye and health and other things, and also any interest the community have in to develop, like maybe a meeting or develop a cultural activity, or even the artists them and other interests. What is collective interest? We're not talking about personal interest. This is a collective space also for development in our community.
The endowment that is made by the gastronomy environment will remain for the use of the community center.
And in other news, the Navy and the Ministry of the Environment are building 2 strategic nurseries to strengthen the island's native flora and vegetation.
As part of a process of converting the farm into a rural innovative center, the construction of a nursery with a greenhouse is on its way, as part of an agreement between the Ministry of Environment and the Mayor's Office, plus the construction of the National Army.
Right now we are building, with the support of the Ministry of Environment, we are building a Technify vivero. The idea of this vivero is that we can produce material to cover all the necessity that the municipality have in needs of plants, for example. So the idea of having this space is to produce at least 20,000 plants per year. These plants will be used to strengthen all the different programs that we have.
The nursery is a metallic structure. It can be said that it is a prefabricated structure. The roof is covered by a 10-gauge plastic. It has a useful life of 5 years, and there is a polishade of different calibers. This is to maintain the greenhouse climate in a static climate. It can rain outside, it can be in times of drought, and the nursery will keep the plants humid.
On the other hand, another greenhouse will also be built in the land where Coralina was located in Mountain. It is expected that these 2 greenhouses can hold about 10,000 seedlings.
This is all we have for tonight for the section of Old Providence and Ketlina. Continue in San Andres with more Teleislas news. Good night.
Thank you, Millie. With news of the municipality, we reached to the end of this broadcast. See you tomorrow at 1 p.m. with more Teleislas news. Good night.